Yeah, check one, check two. So yeah, Rihanna last night at the Super Bowl. I have opinions about that performance, but first, I want to start off with all the great things about the performance. I mean, she was great. She did look good up there, or great up there, I should say. She revealed that she was pregnant, which everybody is now talking about all over YouTube. All the memes have gone up about the dancers. But, yeah, she did a great job. I love her songs. I love Riri. She does her thing. But there is a flip side to this performance. I've been hearing some mixed emotions about this performance. Some people are saying that she didn't really do any dance moves. Some people are saying that they wish that Jay-Z was on stage with her, which I do somewhat agree with that. But I was hearing, just mixed emotions back and forth of this performance. And I have a few mixed emotions as well. But one other thing I will give credit to Rihanna's performance is that, yes, she wasn't up there twerking. She wasn't dancing around half naked or practically naked. She didn't have any, Satan Illuminati figures on the stage with her. She didn't have cages and all kinds of sexual mischievous things going on in her performance. So I give her credit for that. She was actually proving that women don't need to take off their clothes to sell records. So much respect to Rihanna for that. Let's give her a round of applause for that. Now, to the flip side of the performance, I do feel in some ways that it needed more. I feel that she somewhat had too many dancers with her on stage. Now, I'm not even going to get into the lip syncing part of it. We don't even have to get into the lip syncing part of it. We could just talk about the fact that, and I'm not even comparing it to last year, because everybody's going to say, well, yeah, man, that Dr. Dre, Eminem, Snoop Dogg performance with Kendrick and Mary J is just a tough one to follow, even 50. I mean, yeah, that could be true. And I've heard others that say they beg to differ with Charlemagne, or others were saying on the Breakfast Club that they loved her performance and that they thought it was great and that they don't expect Rihanna to be a great performer. I don't understand that take at all. I got to tell you right now, I do not understand that take, and I somewhat disagree with them. And I think that they were just saying that to be politically correct because they didn't want to step on Jay-Z's toes. Jay-Z is the man behind this. He's the one who helped to put Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg last year at the halftime show, and he's the one that got Rihanna on here. And that's why I feel like this take is really nothing more but just another marketing technique for Roc Nation. I see all of these conglomerates really all the true winner and just working together and pushing certain types of artists into us through the machine and pumping them out. Like, for instance, Jack Harlow had a Super Bowl commercial. Why does Jack Harlow have a Super Bowl commercial and he's also nominated for Best Hip Hop Album, when it is clearly obvious that he is just trying to be Drake? But the machine, I guess, chooses to push these certain types of artists and says, hey, you're going to buy these records. Hey, these are the records that we want you to see. These are the records that we want you to hear. And I want to do another take on this later. But real quick, if you look at these big types of performances, these festivals like, Rihanna did the Super Bowl performance, the Grammys did the 50th year anniversary hip hop performance. They do all these things. They do all these big events, right? But at the end of the day, really all that's doing is just pushing everybody to their products. And it's not really about the artists who everybody makes a big deal about, but more so it's about the companies who are running these organizations and running these institutions that are just celebrating all the artists that are on the same labels and all that. Like, for instance, Rihanna is a Roc Nation artist, right? So if you buy one of Rihanna's records, most likely the money's going to go to Rock Nation, which goes to the CEO, Jay-Z. Now, I'm not mad at that, as you should get your money and as you should build multiple streams of income. Of course, Jay-Z is smart enough to do that. But I will say this, though, that Jay-Z is basically just marketing all of these products back to himself. Now, we could beg to differ with the Dr. Dre situation, but then again, it's like, let's look at who was really the producer behind Dr. Dre and his whole performance. It goes by a gentleman by the name of Adam Blackstone. Okay, this guy won the Emmy for the last Super Bowl performance. So you see, these same people who are doing these shows are the same people that are presenting the shows to you, that are throwing these awards, that are hosting these award shows, and that are choosing to put which artists on television and which artists on the main stage. It's all being controlled by the same people. So in other words, how Rihanna did the song Under My Umbrella, well, metaphorically speaking, that's what's going on here, is that she is just under the umbrella of the Rock Nation umbrella, which is now part of the Super Bowl halftime show, which they will make, you know, like let's just go to their website real quick. Let's go to their website. So the owner is Live Nation. Let me just Google Rihanna record label. It looks like Rihanna is on Def Jam and Rock Nation, which is also a part of Universal Music Group. Universal Music Group, probably the biggest in the world, and at the end of the day, they really own everything. But if you look at Universal, Universal pretty much owns Def Jam, Interscope. They own all these labels. So all of these labels are all connected to each other. So do you guys see that when Dr. Dre makes money, Jay-Z makes money, and when Jay-Z makes money, Rock Nation makes money, and Rock Nation makes money, then Universal makes money, and it's all connected, which is good because that's how it should be. Everybody should be connected. But I'm just telling you that these award shows and these big halftime event, Super Bowl events, are really just marketing tools now. I don't really think that it's just about the football, although it was a good game, but I don't really think that it's just about football anymore. I think that it's more so about marketing for the fact that she announced that she was pregnant. She did a whole interview, okay, like a few days before the Super Bowl, and she came out with a big jacket, and she had her arms over her stomach the whole time, and I was wondering, like, yo, why are her hands like in that awkward position for such a long period of time? It just didn't look natural to me. Now I see why. She was trying to hide the baby bump, and that's cool. That's cool. Like, she wanted it to be a surprise, so she wanted to come out, it looks like, and announce her second pregnancy. Funny how I haven't really heard anybody confirm who the father of that child is, but I guess we're all just assuming that it's A$AP Rocky, correct? But I never heard A$AP, if I'm not mistaken, or anybody say, yeah, that's A$AP's child, or yeah, we're welcoming baby number 2. I haven't heard anybody say that. I thought that was kind of interesting. But yes, it looks like a place where she went out to announce the pregnancy, and where Jay-Z goes on to make more money for Rock Nation and Def Jam, which is really a conglomerate of Universal Music Group. And the NFL continues to go on to make more money. And that's how I see this. I don't really see this as a performance. I see this more as a marketing campaign, and just a way for them to continue to bring more money into their system. If you really want me to go into a conspiracy theorist, I could say that this is some kind of Illuminati system where they just want to continue, as I mentioned before, to push their artists in front of our faces continuously, whether it be on the Grammys, whether it be on the Super Bowl, or whatever it be. It's just a continued push of the same artists over and over and over again, and the overexposure. Okay, I felt that her performance was okay. I felt that it was good, but you know, she did a great job for what she was working with, for not being on the stage. They said in like what, 7 years. I think she did good, but I felt like she needed something else. I mean, come on, yo, let's be honest. If she would have brought Kanye, even though we know that Ye can't probably be anywhere performing nowhere right now, he's probably not even in the States, but it's like, yo, if they would have brought Ye and Jay-Z for Run This Town, I think that would have tore the roof off. I think that would have been a comparison to last year where people would have been like, okay. I mean, Jay-Z performed at the Grammys, so I don't understand why he didn't perform at the Super Bowl. I mean, come on, man. How you not going to do that verse or do Under My Umbrella? But like Charlamagne said, oh, Jay-Z, he's trying to run things. He don't have time to be on the stage doing that. But you know what, though? As a fan, people ain't knowing that Jay-Z is really the one running the halftime show. I mean, I mentioned this to several people that I was watching the Super Bowl with, and they all looked at me like I was crazy. Like, oh, what? Jay-Z? Jay-Z's running that? One person looked at me like they didn't even know who Jay-Z is. So, you know, we can't jump to conclusions that everybody knows what's going on in hip-hop. Some people don't listen to hip-hop or R&B. And I think there was just way too many dancers. I remember I heard somebody say this too. The dancers overcrowded her. Man, the more I watch it, to be honest with you, the more I watch this performance, the more distraught I get from it. The first time I saw it, I was like, oh, that was cool. And then the second time I saw it, I was like, And now this is like the third or fourth time I'm watching it. I'm kind of more like, yeah. This didn't look like a Super Bowl performance. This looked more like something you would see at like the American Music Awards or something like that. Like just some little interlude performance. Like, oh, that was special. Yeah, I just see it as a marketing technique. That's just my opinion on it. Let me know what y'all think.